Hello and welcome to the Eye, your English news bulletin. I'm Esther. These are the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday announced an ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh for the families of those killed and 50,000 for those injured in lightning strikes in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari arrived in Manipur today and inaugurated 4 completed projects, including the Makru Bridge, and laid foundation stones for 12 new projects. The Serkchip Battalion of Assam Rifles apprehended 2 persons said to be smugglers and recovered contraband items worth rupees 39 lakhs in Farkon village in Champai district of Mizoram. Now for the news and details. The handing and taking over ceremony for the outgoing and incoming Sumihoho office bearers was conducted on the 12th of July at the Sumihoho Quay at 10 a.m. Outgoing President Hekushe Shiku said that there is time that has been prepared for everything as planned by God, and that the seat they are chosen for is by God in his own plan. He said that the more a person is ennobled, the humbler he should be, and urged the newly elected leaders to stay humble and perform their duties with diligence. He lauded his team for their efforts and for respecting one another throughout the entire tenure, and called upon the newly elected members to do the same and express his confidence in him. Niketu Jimomi, the Sumihoho's president-elect, lauded the outgoing president with whose charisma and experience their tenure was completed. He said that in the previous tenure, they have been in many talks and they mediated to maintain peaceful coexistence and brotherhood among Naga communities. A new team of the Sovima Village Council has been constituted today, headed by Sebastian Zumvu as its chairman for the tenure 2021 to 26. In a meeting presided over by Tefokedio, head GB of Sovima Village at the Village Council Hall this morning. In a brief address, Chairman Select Zumvu highlighted the new team's plan of action, which included greater participation of women and youth in the decision-making process. The women folk represent almost 50% of the population, and they are no less capable than the men folk. Therefore, it is only fair that they have more say than they do now in decisions pertaining to the village, he said. He also said that since the youth are the future of the village, they should have their say in how they want to fashion their future and destiny. Zumvu also stated that the new team shall endeavor to make Sovima a clean and green village by making it garbage and plastic free, and also undertaking massive tree plantation and nurturing of the saplings. He called upon the leaders of the village to extend their unstinted support so as to make the plans of the new team a reality. The new team includes Luvi Sako Punye as VDB Secretary and Nihotiu Ruprio as Treasurer, and was selected unanimously by the GBs and Village Council members. Women of Ilomio village in Woka district submitted a representation to the district administration on the 12th of July in connection with the village council chairman election, requesting consideration to the aspiration and interest of Ilomio village's public. They highlighted an incident during a VCC election of Ilomio on the 6th of July when a group of people along with supporters of an intending VCC candidate, 1L Zubentang Sanglao, gathered outside the community hall to boycott the elections. To updates fueled by the unilateral decision of the GBs to conduct the VCC elections at a different venue, that is at the old community hall, a confrontation took place between the agitating party and supporters of another intending VCC candidate, C. Zumomo Changlao, resulting in causing series of grievous injury of some individuals. The agitation was done when the final audit report and findings of the Social Audit Committee prompted large sections of the community to demand for a general meeting to address an issue of misuse of public funds before the VCC elections, which was intimidated to the head GB and all the GBs through a written statement to act accordingly in the best interest of the community. Serious discontentment arose within the village when the GBs decided to conduct the VCC election without considering and addressing the issues. The women of Ilomio village cautioned that if the VCC election in Ilomio village is conducted by the authority before addressing the issues, it will only aggravate further discontentment and may even result in more damage both in terms of property and human life. In such an event, the authorities will be held responsible, it stated. The representation was submitted to the Deputy Commissioner of WOCA to take prompt action in the interest of peaceful coexistence of the public of Ilomio village. The search battalion of Assam Rifles apprehended 2 persons said to be smugglers and recovered contraband items worth Rs 39 lakhs in Farkon village in Champai district of Mizoram, Assam Rifles said on Monday. In another operation, Assam Rifles apprehended a cadre of Kamtapura Liberation Organization in the general area Chop village in Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari today inaugurated 4 completed projects including the Makru Bridge and laid foundation stones for 12 new projects with a total cost of Rs 4,148 crore for Manipur. The completed projects which the Union Minister inaugurated included the Makru Bridge, which is worth Rs 62.38 crore, and a 45.680 kilometer long double-lane ring road development project under the Imphal More Road, National Highway 39. The proposed new projects for which Gadkari laid the foundation stones included double lane of the Maram-Perin section of National Highway 129A and a 4-lane and upgrade into a divided highway of 12.435 kilometer long stretch of the Tapaukuki to Daili section of National Highway 39. The 12 projects are worth approximately Rs 2,841 crore. The Union Minister reached the Imphal International Airport and reached the City Convention Centre by road. The inauguration and foundation stone laying ceremonies of the various projects were held at the City Convention Centre in Imphal virtually. After the function, Nitin Gadkari left Imphal for the newly inaugurated Makru Bridge along the Imphal-Jiribam National Highway. He left Imphal for Delhi at 3:30 p.m. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday announced an ex gratia of Rs 2 lakh for the families of those killed and 50,000 rupees for those injured in lightning strikes in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh on Sunday and said they will be provided further assistance by the respective state governments. To Twitter, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote, "Many people have lost their lives due to lightning in some areas of Rajasthan. This is very saddening. I express my deepest condolences to the families of the deceased." He also posted separate similar messages condoling deaths and announcing ex gratia for deaths caused by lightning in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi also expressed his condolences in a tweet in Hindi on Monday and urged the state governments to extend all possible help to the families of the deceased. At least 22 people were killed due to lightning strikes in Rajasthan. 11 of these died in at least 2 lightning strikes near Amber Fort in Jaipur on Sunday evening. 7 children, including 4 in Kota and 3 in Dholpur district, also died in lightning strikes. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot announced a compensation of 5 lakh each for the family members of those killed in the lightning strike. Out of this, 4 lakh will be given from the Emergency Relief Fund and 1 lakh from the Chief Minister Relief Fund. At least 26 people were also killed due to lightning in Uttar Pradesh, including 14 in Prayagraj. 12 others were killed in separate incidents of lightning in Fatehpur, Kaushambi and Firozabad districts in the last 24 hours, PTI said on Monday. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath directed immediate distribution of the permissible relief amount to the families of the deceased and treatment of the injured. The Indian Meteorological Department has warned of more lightning in the next 2 days along with heavy rains in parts of North India. Superstar Rajnikant on Monday dissolved his outfit Rajni Makal Mandram or the RMM and said he had no intention of entering politics in future. He said members of the outfit would continue to serve the public as part of Rajnikant Fan Club Association. Rajnikant said he would speak to office bearers of Mandram to take a call on whether he would enter politics about 6 months after he walked away from the scene following a period of sickness. He said questions about his entering politics, a topic of debate for over 2 decades in Tamil Nadu, lingered among the Mandram functionaries on the forum's future. RMM was previously considered a launch vehicle for the actor's political entry. However, last December, the actor said he would not join politics and had cited factors like his health condition, him undergoing kidney transplant in 2016. The South superstar, who returned from America days ago after a health checkup, earlier said, should the Makkal Mandram be continued, and if so, what will be its functions? And these are questions among the functionaries and fans. On 3rd December 2020, the actor had said that he would launch his party in January 2021 ahead of the assembly elections. However, during the last week of December last year, he did a U-turn and announced that he would not join politics. Since then, several functionaries had joined political parties, including the DMK and others. Haitian police announced Sunday they had arrested a Haitian national who had political objectives in recruiting the gunmen who assassinated President Jovenel Moïse last week. According to Leon Charles, head of the Haitian National Police, this is an individual who entered Haiti on a private plane with political objectives. Christian Emmanuel Sanin, 63, who is of Haitian nationality, arrived in the island nation in June accompanied by several Colombians, according to details provided at the press conference. Several Haitian ministers were also at the conference. The mission then changed, Charles said, explaining that the intent had originally been to arrest Moïse and the operation was mounted from within the country. 22 other individuals entered Haiti, Charles said. 18 Colombian citizens have been arrested since Wednesday. By interrogating them, the Haitian police learned that Sanin had recruited 26 team members via a Florida-based Venezuelan security company named CTU. When the police blocked the progress of these bandits, after they committed their crime, the first person that one of the assailants called was Christian Emmanuel Sanin, the official said. He contacted 2 other people that they consider to be the masterminds of the assassination of President Moïse, Charles said, without disclosing the identity of the 2 other suspects. Members of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, State Department, Justice Department, National Security Council, and Department of Homeland Security arrived Sunday in Haiti and met with the Director General of Police. State-run oil retailers slashed diesel price by 16 paise per litre on Monday, the first auto fuel rate reduction since April 15, even as petrol became costlier by 28 paise, the 39th hike since May 4th, a day after the results of 5 assembly polls were declared. The first diesel price reduction in about 3 months came after international benchmark Brent crude fell by $1.61 a barrel or 2.6% at the Friday close compared to its peak of $77.16 last Monday. Domestic fuel retailers aligned pump prices of petrol and diesel with their respective international benchmarks of previous day, which often move in tandem with crude oil rates. International oil markets do not operate on weekends. According to executives working in state-run oil marketing companies have already recovered their past revenue losses on diesel, like the one they suffered for 66 days from February 27, when rates were not raised because of assembly elections in 4 states and 1 union territory. The revenue losses on petrol were higher compared to diesel, hence it saw a higher price surge in the last 70 days, they said, requesting anonymity. So far, petrol prices have jumped by 10 rupees a litre in 70 days, while diesel prices have jumped by 8 rupees after factoring in first rate cut by 16 paise on the fuel. Petrol is now priced at 101.19 rupees per litre and diesel at 89.72 a litre in New Delhi, while fuel rates of state-run Indian Oil Corporation or the IOC in Delhi are the benchmark for the entire country. Retail prices of the 2 fuels differ from place to place because of variations in state taxes and local levies. Petrol prices have already crossed 100 per litre in 5 metros, that is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and Bengaluru. District Tobacco Cell, Itanagar Capital Region organized a community-level awareness program on harmful effects of tobacco and use of tobacco products. The objective of the program was aimed to create awareness about the harmful effects of tobacco consumption, to reduce the production and supply of tobacco products, ensure effective implementation of the provisions under the Cigarettes and Other Tobacco Products Prohibition of Advertisement and Regulation of Trade and Commerce Production, Supply and Distribution Act 2003 or the COTPA, and to help people to quit tobacco use. The team educated all the customers and shopkeepers about various sections of the COTPA Act 23. Kopi Ratan, District Constant, informed that for now they are just giving awareness. After this, they will carry out enforcement drive. During the drive, if anyone is found violating the rules, they will be fined, it was informed. She further warned the citizens not to smoke in public places and also warned the shopkeeper not to advertise tobacco products, while also urging them not to sell tobacco products to children below 18 years. Vishwa Hindu Parishad, a Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh affiliate, on Monday registered its strong opposition to the draft proposal on population control recently released by the Uttar Pradesh State Law Commission that excludes people with more than 2 children from availing benefits under government schemes. VHP, in its letter to the State Law Commission, has not just cited policies' adverse impact on children, it also lists imbalance in communities as different communities respond differently to incentives or disincentives related to family planning and contraception. The organization suggested the deletion of sections 5, 6, and 7 to avoid contraction of population and also undesirable social and economic consequences of a one-child policy. VHP's International Working President Alok Kumar, who himself is an advocate, advised Uttar Pradesh to avoid getting into a situation where only one community takes the benefit of the policy whereas the other keeps expanding. It is also concerned about the Hindu population contracting whereas other communities are expanding. According to the letter, the total fertility rate of Hindus in states like Assam and Kerala has declined far below the replacement rate of 2.1, but that of Muslims is 3.16 in Assam, and in Kerala it is 2.33. In these states, one of the communities has thus entered the contraction phase while the other is still expanding, reads the letter. Also about the 2-child norm, the RSS affiliate believes that single child is socially less accommodating. This is because they don't learn to share with siblings and partly because they are overindulged and pampered, the letter read. This has been referred to as the Little Emperor Syndrome, read the letter. VHP's International Working President also believes that this policy will disrupt the balance between the working and dependent population ratio. Thousands of Cubans have marched to the streets in Havana and other towns demanding vaccines and food as the country struggles to recover from the global COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Miami Herald, some denounced President Miguel Diaz-Canel, chanting down with the dictatorship. Diaz-Canel blamed the unrest of the United States in a speech to the country. People screamed that they were not frightened and chanted freedom as they marched through the streets on Sunday, according to videos posted on social media. Analysts believe the protests are uncommon in a country where dissidents are closely monitored by the police. Thousands of Cubans are protesting against President Miguel and his regime as the island faces one of its greatest socio-economic crises since the Soviet Union collapse. Worsening conditions such as the third wave of the coronavirus pandemic, as well as a frightening scarcity of food, medication and other necessities, are among the causes of the protests, which are among the greatest since the dictatorship began in the 1950s. That's all for tonight's English News Bulletin. I'm Esther. Keep watching Hornbill TV.